What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the hoetohusbandpodcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me tonight. What's going on, Jay?
Not much. What's going on tonight, fellas? Well, we got another banger of an episode for you guys tonight, and look forward to this discussion, a very much needed discussion here. But want to quickly remind you, catch us on Grind City TV. That's 7 p.m. prime time Eastern Standard Time. You can download it on your Google Play apps, also on your Roku TV. Also, you can follow us on TikTok, as well as give us a like on Facebook at hoetohusbandpodcast. All right, T.
I also have my other co-host on the line with me. I got my man SD. What's good, bro?
What's up, man? What's up? Hey, I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for keeping the background audio fresh all the time. And don't forget to donate to the Host to Husband podcast on Cash App or PayPal.
I want to remind y'all that y'all can catch the audio playback of the show every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Average at Best. We wanted to just do a deep discussion in regards to Kevin Samuels with the news of his recent passing. So I figured that would be a kind of an appropriate title since that's what blew him up. But before we get into all that, we like to discuss other things that we see trending or that have went viral. So we got a couple interesting videos this week. A woman went viral for giving out her tips on how she shoots her shot at men. So she put up a shortened to the point. She put up a GIF that says, "I shoot my shot by sending chicken wings to men at bars." And then she got the little player video, and when I do my little wave at them when the server points at me. That's genius. The whole purpose of flirting, especially in a sports bar or a bar or a place like that, is you want to be recognized by the people you find attractive. And so a woman, I've never had a woman do anything like that for me. So I know for a fact it would stand out to a guy, and it will almost encourage any dude to come shoot to reciprocate the energy, or at least come over to spark a conversation. What are y'all thoughts about that? Have y'all ever had a situation like that where a woman sent you?
I've never had a woman send me a drink or send any food to my section or anything. What about you, SD?
I had a woman actually sent me some wings. I was sitting at the
no shit.
Yeah, man. I was sitting at the bar with my guy, and some wings came, and I'm like, I didn't order no wings. And then the girl was like, "Oh, the lady over here got you some wings." And I was like, "Well, lady," it was surprising. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that has ever happened. That's the only time. And when I looked over at her, she was a 3. So I was like, "Yo."
So what did you say?
Hey, she came over to me because she looked at the same time, and I waved, and I'm like, "Thank you." And she came on over, and I'm like, God
damn. So that put you on the spot. Put you in the spot where you gotta hold the conversation where you wouldn't. But that's the purpose. Like, from her standpoint, it was 100% effective. Like, just because you offer somebody a drink or something don't mean they gonna be interested in you. But she got more attention from you than she would have got without doing the wings at all.
She wouldn't have got me, to be honest.
Exactly.
That's my point. So she earned her way to getting a small smidgen of attention. But if you had been attracted to her, it would have been, and you were available. I'm pretty sure that because how can you not? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, especially,
and I was available.
And I was like, you with your partners and a bad chick shoot you a drink or something. Even if you got a girl, you gonna be, peer pressures them up. They gonna be encouraged. Man, you need to go sit with her or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I couldn't. I did. What I did do was I paid for her drink. Okay. I sent her a drink when I left. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I asked them, hey, what's she drinking on? And I sent her a drink back. You know what I'm saying? Just because it was a nice gesture. But I was available at the time. I just wasn't available for her.
Gotcha.
That's it. So
you just the track. Right.
I had a fiance that night. That night, and
the only thing I can even think of remotely close to that, it wasn't we weren't at a bar, but when I was in the Army, my partner, I broke up with a chick, and I was in a bad space socially, so he hooked me up with a chick. The chick he was dating had a friend or whatever, and it happened to be my birthday, the date that we went out. And when they came to scoop me up, a girl had a birthday card for me. And so I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, so she ended up being my girlfriend eventually. But I was so surprised. Well, that ain't the only factor. She was very attractive. He obviously knew what my type was or whatever. But the fact that she took the time to get a birthday card for me and all that, it cut through the bullshit games that a lot of women play when you first link up. So ladies, the $14 or however much you spend on some wings or a pitcher of beer, whatever the case may be, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, the purpose is that is going to get a guy's attention because it's something that rarely happens to men.
Exactly. And I mean, listen, you may not successfully get that guy's number, or you may not exchange numbers, nothing, but at least to start, at least get your foot in the door. I remember we had a DM question about that one time, but she was asking, hey, how does she get attention from a guy at a bar? And we should just, hey, why don't you just send the guy a drink, find out what he's drinking, or send food his way, smile at him, because it'll at least grab a guy's attention, because men aren't used to things like that.
Yeah,
a compliment.
You know what, man? 7s and up hardly ever do that. Like bad chicks, they hardly ever, because they really don't have to. They
have to,
hitting dudes at them like that. But see, I'm that dude that'll go to the bar, see a nice chick that's an 8 or a 9, and ignore her because she got
everybody else's attention.
Yeah, so I'll be the dude to ignore her, and then we'll catch eyes or something like that, and she'll be intrigued as to why I'm not trying to get at her. But as far as like sending stuff over to a dude, like really nice looking women don't do that. They should, because they would have a better success rate with men if they did that.
When you do that, that's one of the things that give men an advantage. You're in a bar, you are pre-screening who you gonna shoot your shot at. So you getting to see how they move. You get to figure out whether they fit your range of attractiveness or not. You can see how other people interact with them. Like, you can peep a whole bunch of stuff if you just in the cut looking for prey. From a male perspective, that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even on the dance floor, any part of the club, I'm paying attention to is who are the women I find attractive. Like, I noticed where you went. I noticed when you started dancing. Like, so I assume all guys are doing that, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And I just wanted to touch on, as Steve said, about the pretty woman usually don't do it the 7s and up, because 9 times out of 10, they're used to guys catering to them. They're used to guys going to the bar and just buying them drinks. I mean, you have women that make a career out of going to clubs and have a guy buy them 10 drinks and they ain't spending
with
no
money.
They right, and they didn't lift a finger.
Yeah, I have done it in my younger day, and it worked, especially down on South Beach. Like, that stuff worked down there, you know what I'm saying, my younger day. But now, if it was just a woman sitting there and she just sitting there chilling and ain't getting too much traffic, then I would still do it. But like I said, women will have better success rate if they just put themselves in a position for men to shoot at them. They don't have to shoot at the guy. They just have to put themselves in a position so the guy can shoot at them.
So that you open to it. You know what I'm saying? If she shows that she's open to it, because the worst scenario for a guy, even though it's gonna happen, is getting shot down in front of everybody. You walked across the club or across the floor, and then you got to do the walk of shame on back. But that's very unlikely to happen, at least so if the woman is even halfway attractive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to, most guys, or we already know women ain't really built like that. So you did, where you got the woman a drink and trying to soften the blow, etc. But she had to know, if she's a 3, she knows she's not very attractive. You know what I mean? Like, so if you have a realistic perspective on where you stand in the dating game, You shouldn't be no surprises.
Man, look, I've been shot down plenty of times in the club and in the bars. It's natural. Like when you talk to as many women as I did back in the day, like it just became second nature. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of expected for the most part.
Duh,
That's why guys like signals. You can give them a choosing signal is what it is. You ain't got to send them no wings, but keep giving them the eye. And that's the same thing as wings.
But just think about it, right? You got a bunch of those. Let's just say you holler at 10 women, you get at least 4 of them. Hey, that's 40%. Think about it. In the NBA, that's considered a good 3-point percentage. Or in college.
Yeah.
Already.
You might smash 2. That's a great percentage.
Exactly.
Now, let's keep things rolling, fellas. Now, this next video got a lot of people upset. I don't know where the person came from. It was an anonymous question that I just happened to come across. Somebody sent it to me. So it's regarding a woman that's dating a man that has a previous child. So let's take a listen.
I want my fiance to get rid of his 5-year-old daughter. Hello, relationship rules. Please keep me anonymous. I need some advice. My 32-year-old fiance has a 5-year-old daughter. Her mother passed away when she was giving birth to her. He has been raising her ever since he lost his wife, with the help of his family, of course. I am now in the picture, and we're going to get married in 2023, and I'm 6 months pregnant with his son. I am not the stepmother type, so I know I won't treat his daughter the same way I would treat our son. Oh my God. To be quite honest, she annoys me. She looks exactly like her mother, and she constantly reminds my fiance of his dead wife. And she is very attached to her daddy, which makes me afraid that my son will not be able to bond with his father because of her. Basically, I want to tell my fiance to get rid of her. She can live with his grandparents, or we can find a nice couple that wants to adopt.
Man, just
what?
There's lots to unpack here.
Watching that video, my anger level is incrementally going up throughout the video.
For real?
Now, that's the fact that he's engaged to a woman that feels like that about being a stepmother automatically shows that he failed the dating phase.
Yeah.
Like that's an epic fail if you are a single parent and you are dating. How that person feels about being in a parental position towards your child is probably the most important thing.
Exactly.
So this is just an epic fail all the way around.
You know what? Here's the thing. This is what I didn't like. She's telling him to treat his daughter like she's some kind of animal or something. Hey, find somebody to adopt him. Just give him away to his grandparent. Number one. Number two. Here's the thing. If she's willing to say that about his daughter, how is she going to be about having his child, about his son? Because
she's going to be totally different with his kid. She's going to be A1 with that child. But I've seen situations like this. Go ahead, SD.
Man, this is my first time hearing this video, hearing that. And man, you know what? That woman is a horrible person, if you ask me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like, you know, when you hear some of these here women just want the title of being married because she done been with this man all this time. This daughter is, what she say, 4 or 5 or something like that? 5 years old. She done been with him long enough to be engaged, long enough to be pregnant, and yet she's holding this resentment in about this little girl because her mom died. It's not like he was just out here having babies, you know what I'm saying, and had a kid. Her mom died, and this woman is completely insensitive and wants to give the kid away. Man, bro. That dude needs to run from that chick, pay his child support. But
you're right. That's the smart move. But I've seen dudes that disown their kids because of their new woman, because of their new baby mama. So if he's a weak dude and he actually goes along with this, man, I wish I could say that there's no chance that could happen. But it can. I've seen guys do. So I feel so sorry for the daughter because just even being around somebody that you know don't have your best interest at heart.
But I think here's the thing, fellas. Don't y'all think there was signs to this before he decided to get engaged and have a child with her? And I think he just totally ignored these things.
Probably not, bro.
Maybe,
Probably
because
not.
Because this is what I like to say about women, right? Well, men are chameleons when it comes to sex. We adapt, like whole phase men, they adapt to certain things to be whatever that woman wants to get the draws.
Right.
Women are chameleons when a lot of them, not all of them, of course, are chameleons when it comes to getting the ring. She'll sit back and she'll play the role. That's why she's sending this stuff, you know what I'm saying, online or anonymous, because she don't want to be found out. So she's okay around that kid while he's there. Who knows how she's treating that little girl when he's not there pinching her or something? You know, women do those. People do those types of things.
My wife watched the ID channel, bro, where they have all kind of stories where they poison kids, and man, there's some real sick people. You know what I mean? And
no doubt,
a child where her mother died during birth, the only person she got is her dad. So I'm hopeful that the father's a stand-up guy and can make the right decision, but I can see how bad that can go as well. So he's in a lose-lose situation no matter what.
Because she's pregnant. If she wasn't pregnant, he'd be good. But she's pregnant, man. And the wedding, you can call that off, but she's one of those sick people to me, because she's like, man, this kid really annoys me or irritates me or whatever the case. This is a 5-year-old that lost their mom. That lost their mom, and you have no sympathy, no empathy for this baby at all, or the dad. Like that woman there, man, he needs to really find out about this and get rid of her.
Exactly. I mean, it sounds like she's just not a good person whatsoever.
No.
That has the audacity to even say something like this. But in my opinion, I think there had to be some signs in the beginning, because I think a lot of times, us as men, sometimes there are sometimes signs in the beginning and we ignore them, even at our own peril, just because we want to smash, we want to get pussy. Maybe even we don't have sex and sex is good. Hey, she knows how to suck a hitch over a trailer, and we'll ignore some of those things.
But see, in a situation like this where a woman will know her situation is wrong, that's why she's calling in anonymously.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen women like that they're not blatant in front of the guy until it's too late. Like up until after the ring, she may just be blatantly have an I don't give a fuck attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But up until that point, up until she seals the deal, she's gonna keep that stepmother face on.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so sad, because, man, like I said, my wife watch all these shows in situation. You know, the typical was it Cinderella? Ain't that the situation? Her stepmother, her dad died, got all his wealth, mistreated his daughter. That's the same type of situation.
Yeah.
You know what struck me? Yeah. You know what struck me even more? Her very first sentence or two, she said, "I'm not the stepmother type." You knew that from the beginning. And you came in here and deceived this man and his daughter in order to have a baby and get married and get the ring that you want more than anything. It's no different than a guy knowing that all he wants is sex and deceiving a woman that wants more. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that's all he wants. So to me, man,
definitely fuck girl. She's definitely a fuck girl. Man.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, man. Let's this kind of change the mood, but we about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna get into our topic of the night. Tonight's topic is average at best. We'll be sharing our thoughts on Kevin Samuels, the man, his content, and his facet. You're tuned into the Ho the Husband podcast. We'll be back momentarily.
Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Ho the Husband podcast. Tonight's topic is called Average at Best, as a dedication to Kevin Samuels. I personally, I have a lot of respect for Kevin Samuels for having the heart to speak brutal honesty. And he's one of my frat brothers. So
Oh, wow.
I was sad to hear the news of his passing, but I feel confident that his legacy will move on. And he's the first person that I think went viral from the perspective of relationship advice or the brand that I stand behind. So there's a lot to unpack with it. What were y'all initial thoughts when y'all heard of him passing? I'll start with you, SD.
Man, I was shocked, to be honest with you. I was shocked. And then my thoughts went to how the women would respond. That's what my thoughts went to, because I knew that it wasn't going to be good. And I was right about it. But I was really, really surprised at how evil a lot of the replies were to him dying.
Yeah, that was a real sad. What about you, Jay?
I was shocked myself, just much like SD said, because when you first sent it to the group saying Kevin Samuels passed away, I was like, what the hell? What happened here? So I went on Google, looked it up myself, trying to figure out the details, and nothing confirmed it. I go on YouTube. There was just YouTubers talking about it, but nothing yet really confirmed until
that's what made it unusual.
Yeah, and so one YouTube, I forget her name. She knew Kevin Samuels on a more personal level, so she confirmed it, heard it from somebody. She's like, all the details will come out, and then it came out. Yes, and then it came out about an hour or so later. The detail, about his death, and like SD said, what some of these women said, and I'll touch on it later on. Just the vitriol that he got in his death. I have my thoughts on that. I'll say that.
Yeah, it was unusual because usually when somebody that's a celebrity or very popular passes or in an accident or gets shot or whatever the case may be, there's some official TMZ or some type of entity that confirms at least parts of the information. And so this was the first time where it was almost 100% social media speculation for several hours. Like, it wasn't just like an hour or two. Like when Kobe passed, it was like within 40 minutes to an hour, there was an official, there's been a tragedy type vibe.
Right. But what happened with Kobe Bryant, TMZ reported right away. Same thing with Michael Jackson, TMZ. Like, when TMZ reports and stuff, they don't miss when they report it, because they get to the bottom of everything when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But you know what? I had this gut feeling, man, that it was true, because Kevin Samuels he's on social media so much that when I didn't see him on social media for like 2 hours or 3 hours, I said, man, this got to be true. Because he would have came out and said, "Hey, man, this here is a bunch of nonsense." So I figured I had an idea that it was true for sure.
Yeah, I did too. I was anxious to find out the situation. Did he get murdered? You know what I'm saying? Like what was the actual situation? And so today the video came out of the actual 911 call. Where the lady that he was with when he passed. So from what I've read or the story that I've heard, he was out at a bar and met a young nurse, took her back to the crib, and was involved with her sexually when he had the heart problems. There's speculation that part of the things that contributed to his death are his drinking of the Red Bulls, and some friends of his say that he used the Viagra pills from the gas station. So that's a bad combination. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, blood flow and hearts go hand in hand. So in one sense, I'm very happy and proud, because he epitomized the bachelor lifestyle. If you are a successful man, even if you are 57, you can pull an attractive woman in her 20s and take her to Pound Town. So that city boys up 100,000 for that. You know what I'm saying?
And they trying to, I see a lot of women, man, talking about he died alone and all this here. But what they don't understand is that a lot of times when you got single, successful men, that's how they want to live their life. Right. They want to live their life as single bachelors, doing what they want to do and dealing with who they want to deal with. So for men, it's not the same as a woman that's that age that actually wants to get married and all of that.
Right.
Because he can get a chick and probably get married at any point.
Anytime.
No doubt. Of who he is.
Exactly.
And the resources he got. I mean, any dude with money can always get a wife.
No question. No question about it. Think about this. He made good money from Instagram, from YouTube and everything. So he pretty much had his pick of litter, and he's out there in Atlanta. Listen, I'm sure he had his pick of the litter out there in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he's living a lifestyle where everything he wears is designer and exudes a luxury lifestyle. That's the easiest way to get chicks. That's the reason fuck boys buy fake watches and fake jewelry, because that's the easiest way to get women. So if you're actually able to buy real Tom Ford and really live in a fancy condo and all that, man, you always gonna be able to get chicks out their panties. And him being a noob, you already know what it is. You know what I mean?
But I mean, a luxury apartment right out there, I believe he's right there in downtown Atlanta. I mean, it says a lot within itself. I mean, when we had, what's his name, Coach T, the dating coach, he talked about marketing
living in
downtown Dallas. So I can imagine what it's like living in downtown Atlanta, a nice luxury apartment out there.
And let's not forget, she is nice.
Yeah.
If Shorty was nice, the women, I done seen them pushing around this photo where she looks a little thicker. In one photo that they pushing, they ain't showing these other photos. This chick is nice. She ain't no run of the mill. She ain't no 4 or 5. She is nice, man. So they don't want to show them photos, but of course not, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely a very attractive woman. And just the lifestyle that you live. If you can, women judge men based off their lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're able to present an authentic version of yourself, you can always have success with women. That's why the biggest issue that men have is being faithful to one woman. It's why so many men are reluctant to get in a relationship, because it's a lot more risk that comes with committing to a woman, especially if marriage and children are involved. Right. I'm questionable as far as, I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on this, since y'all both still in the dating market. Y'all use gas station pills before?
Yes, I have.
I was a young dude, just to see what it was about, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I hated it. It made me feel funny. I was about 20, 25, 26, and they were called stiff nights back then. I don't know what they call them.
I know what you talk. I know. It was the red pills.
Yeah, and I was like, man, let me see what it is. Like, and man, when I tell you, because I ain't had no business using it at 20, 25.
Yeah, you're gonna say you good.
But I didn't feel right. It made my body feel funny. And I'm like, man, I don't know how people do this type of stuff. And I was probably, I ain't gonna even get that info, but go ahead. I ain't gonna get that too much.
No,
yes,
I know.
What about you, Jay? So you obviously tried it too.
Yes, I tried it. When he said stiff nights, it was like these red pills, stamina RX, just different things. And I was drinking with a Red Bull, just like it said it. And this was in my 20s as well, like, especially like you got that chick coming through, she got the fat ass, fine chick coming through. I'm like, damn, if I'm taking a pound town, hey, listen, I'll make sure I'm good, make sure I don't nut in 5 minutes or something like that. That was my rationale for taking it.
Yeah, I mean, like Red Bulls and stuff like that. I was never. I knew a young man back in my 20s also, who died from drinking too much Red Bull.
Wow.
When Red Bull, he was playing ball. Yeah, he was playing ball, and he drank a lot of Red Bull, allegedly from Red Bull. And so that scared me away from a lot of that stuff. And then the feeling that I got from it, it made my body feel so fun. And I was on 10 for like 4 days. And I'm like, this don't make no sense.
And some of those things give you headaches too.
Man, listen. It
Yeah,
don't
see,
make
I've always been nervous about like just random pills. Like I didn't participate in the pill popping era. Like I'm not just gonna take a pill out your pocket and drink it with alcohol in a club.
No.
Like that's crazy to me. My brother used to be on pills real heavy, and I just could never get into that. But I do know guys that will pay for Viagra's. You know what I'm saying? Like I got, like you said, but they're not the store-bought ones. They're actually prescription. And so I know dudes that'll take a Viagra to boost their performance or whatever the case may be.
Man, listen. As you get older, this is what I learned, man. Getting older. If you stay up with your diet, with drinking your water and your exercise, you ain't got to do none of that. None of that type of stuff, man. You'll be just fine if you take care of your body and visit your doctor regularly. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff, man, it's not really good for your body, man. Especially the older you get, because your heart, the blood that it takes away from your heart, man, it can't handle that. So I learned my lesson as a young man.
Especially with I speak on the Red Bulls because I was someone that was addicted to those type of energy, Red Bull, Monster. Especially when I was in the service, I would take a case of those home with me because I worked in supply, so used to get those stuff. So I think it was like a case of 12 of Red Bull, case of 12 of Monster, take those things home. But once I started hearing the health effects of them, I stopped drinking that about 5 or 6 years ago. I stopped drinking that stuff completely. I mean, they were addicting. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the energy drinks, I never was really into them like that. Once I found out I was diabetic in 2012, so that drastically changed my eating habits or whatnot. And so with my fitness, my exercise, and all that, I drink like water 90% of the time now. So like as Dean was saying, getting your blood work checked, going to the doctor on a regular basis, like. Back at that time, I was obese. I was like 250 pounds. Like my face was round, my body, like I couldn't look down and see my dick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how fat I was.
Hey,
but you know what, man? Most young dudes, because when I did it, it was like a dare between the guys. You know what I'm saying? We were just in our 20s and wanted to see what it was. But most dudes use those pills for stamina. And not to stay hard. They use it so they don't come quick.
That's what I used it for.
That's why they use it. They don't use it because they can't get hard. They use it because it kills the sensation for you. That's what a lot of dudes use it for. But
that's what I used it for. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You gotta put on a performance when your first time with a chick. So I can definitely understand how he ended up in that type of situation. So I was glad that it wasn't no foul play involved. It wasn't nothing scandalous. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a regular situation, and him giving advice and showing that he was actually living that type of lifestyle. To me, that's what gives a person credibility. I'm real big on that. Like, I think that's one of the things as far as my brain goes. Like, next month, I'll be married almost 18 years. So me talking about healthy relationships and what it takes to get a guy to willingly go from being a hoe to a husband, I think that's where the credibility comes from. So Kevin earned his.
Yeah, no doubt. And here's the thing. People were speculating, saying, oh, he gay. He don't like women, blah, blah, blah. He can't get the women he's talking about, whatever. And now, he at least has credibility here that, hey, this is a heterosexual male, is a man that actually can get the women he's talking about.
Yeah,
and that was sad.
Get shows.
It was sad, man. Seeing these here, the women out here, man, insult and degrade this man for years, or for the couple years he was out, about being gay. You know what I'm saying? Throwing that out there.
In this space, if you are not pandering to women, you are going to, and you are criticizing their thinking and behavior in regards to dating and relationships, you are going to be met with vitriol. Especially if you ever get posted on a spiritual word, the shade room, like any of these pages where there are hundreds of thousands and millions of women that are commenting and sharing their thoughts,
Yep.
man, it's a very toxic
You know
place.
what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I can respect about Kevin Samuels the most, right? He gave the things that were considered taboo for men to speak on. He spoke on, right? But not only that, he stood firm on what he said. He didn't back down. He didn't compromise. He didn't waver in any way, shape, or form. Even though he created controversy, and I can respect somebody that does.
Because he was using facts. Like when you're talking about reality, when what you're saying is actually real or authentic. You don't have to. You can speak your truth on any platform, and anybody that hears you, if you're talking about reality, you use real world examples. They're going to identify with what you're talking about, and so him explaining how men that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year date, it's not a secret. They're gonna be pickier than the average guys that don't have that type of lifestyle. They're not going to struggle to get attention from women because they can do the stuff that take a woman, hey, let's go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? Like we say it all the time. If you got money to just blow on, you can go spend $20,000 in a strip club. You can go to a college campus and change some lives. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're smart with it.
Exactly. And the thing is, listen, he's had a meteoric rise for the better part of the past 2 years. Before he started going viral, he had maybe 100,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. He went from 100,000 to 1.4 million. And that's hard to do, especially on a platform like he did it on both YouTube and Instagram. So, and I think that's what a lot of people hate. He was able to get that rise at the time. People hate, and here's the thing. People are going to hate right now. He's got so much vitriol, but they're never going to remember your haters. They don't remember stuff that he did.
But when he first blew up, right, with the Average at Best video, they were so mad that he told a woman that. And if you're looking at the video, you're like, but she's average.
She said that herself.
She did.
Exactly.
He asked her what she thought she was, and she said a 6 or something like that, right?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He asked her, okay, what do you look like?
Rank yourself.
Now? I think she said a 6, and then she's like, okay, well, what will you be without the makeup and out the weave, right? I think she said a 4 or 5 or something like that. So that he's like, that's average
at best.
Come on, man.
But they treated it as if he said something disrespectful. As if he just brought her on there and clowned her. And I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with being average. Most people are average.
Most.
Well, what it was, he gave men a voice, but I think women just didn't like his brash and abrasive delivery. And you know what? So what? It doesn't negate anything he said. It doesn't negate. If he brought up facts, it doesn't negate the facts.
I personally think he went over the top a little bit.
I agree with
that. With women. Yeah, sometimes, but I feel like majority of the time that I saw it, he was provoked. They came for him and said something slick, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he started off trying to, good morning, how you doing, ma'am? Tell us, the conversation always start on the right foot.
Now, fellas, I have a couple of quotes here, and I want to get both of your thoughts on this, right? This is from my man, Mr. Jason Black. He has a platform. He has the Black Authority platform, but he has a platform called The Business, and he's been highly critical of Kevin Samuels. Now, when he talked about Kevin Samuels' death, he did put it in the context and everything, and gave credit where credit is due. But I want to give you a couple of quotes he said, and I want your thoughts on this, fellas. So he said, "Your hate is not going to change your condition." But hold on one second. Here's what he said, and I really want your thoughts on this one. And I quote here. He said, "You will be able to lose 50 pounds before you're ever able to reach your status." That man got more done in 24 months than his veteran haters will accomplish in 24 years, or that they even accomplished in the last 24 years, and that breaks your soul.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some truth to that. But what he's saying is true. Every woman knows that losing weight and doing all that significantly improves their dating. That's why we got the BBL culture. The women that want the shortcut, fast route at somebody else's expense, though. You know what I'm saying? Majority of them want somebody else to pay for it. We all know that. We all know that if they delete their old pictures, why? So that you can't compare how they look now to how they used to look. They know that there's a drastic improvement. And so him telling them that ain't nothing new. We all know that already. We know that men are visual creatures. And so anytime we're in the process of deciding who we're gonna shoot our shot at, physical attraction is the main component.
Yeah. But you know what? They don't want it to be the main component. I had a woman say to me today, what about personality? What about her character? And I told her, I said, I don't care about your personality and character if I'm not physically attracted to you. And this is what he was trying to explain to y'all by asking you what size dress you wear and asking you to rank yourself. Because men that you all want, these upper tier men, that is what we look for first. If we are physically attracted to you, we'll figure out if you're a good person, if you got good character, if you're feminine, if you got these here wifely qualities. After we figure out if we like you physically, then everything else comes into play. So women want men to feel and judge women based off of what they want.
But you know what's funny? I remember I put up a post, right? Where a woman came to her man, hey babe, what am I on a 1 to 10? The dude tells her, you about a 6, you know what I'm saying? But you can jazz yourself up, and you know what I'm saying? I like you for your personality and other things. There were several women that would dump a man, that would divorce a man, that would end a relationship just because a man feels like her attractiveness is a 6. When I don't see anything wrong with a 6, because in my eyes, I think women have so many accessories that can enhance their beauty that a 6 can easily go from a 6 to an 8 if she wants to.
Hold on. You know what? It's funny. It's funny you said that too. Kevin Samuels called Sweetie an adjustable 6. Meaning when she gets all dressed up, she can be an 8, but without all the makeup stuff, she's a 6.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's what I want to say to all the people that celebrated and just rejoiced in his death. I honestly thought that behavior was really just disgusting. And you know what? It says more about your character than anything Kevin Samuels has ever said or done. Because at the end of the day, this is a man you don't even know. He's done nothing to you. You're celebrating his death because he said a couple of things you didn't like because it hurt your feelings, right? Yeah. I shared a couple of things. I shared a line with Allison. She had a great breakdown. She had a great video on it where she's like, you're rejoicing in a man's death. She's like, and maybe you're not saying because you're fat, maybe because you're just nasty. And people came on and say, well, you can't tell us how to feel. You can't tell us how to mourn his death. I was like, first of all, I didn't say
it's not mourning.
I didn't tell you to mourn this man. Number one, I don't know what you're talking about. And that was.
But you can always show respect, man. Like, like I always, as a meme maker and as a content creator, I hate when people make memes about somebody getting killed or shot or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't like that.
I've never done that. Like, I have just a certain level of respect for life. So there are certain topics I won't talk about. There are certain things that I just won't say or do. But that's my own ethical code.
Right.
People on social media, though, man, the anonymity that they get to live behind, man, say and do stuff that they would never do in real life.
But this is the thing for me, man. Look,
go ahead,
if I see a woman now, I'm gonna ask women about this if I meet a woman and I'm dating, I'm gonna ask them how they felt. And try to see what it is that you said or posted, because I don't want to be involved with no woman that's showing that type of callous evilness towards somebody they never even met or had a conversation with. Because just imagine what she feel about me, and if she got to know me.
Break up.
That's real. That's real talk.
That's real, man.
You read my mind. That's the same way I feel. Like if I'm talking to a woman and she talking about, I'm glad he died, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's just more about her. I wouldn't want to date you. Hell, I don't even want to be associated with you. I wouldn't even want you to be my friend if that's how you really feel.
But it's okay not to like him. It's okay not to like his
exactly
and his content.
But you don't.
That's completely fine.
And so for me, it hit a little different because I'm in the relationship space, and I've been out before Kevin Samuels blew up. So I've been one of the first. I don't think I'm the first probably, but I'm one of the main guys that focus on the male only perspective,
Right.
and telling shit how it really is.
Yeah.
So that voice where I don't have to pander to women, I don't have to change my content or start bashing other men like Derrick Jackson and other guys. That realm comes with so much hatred. I know this just kind of gave me a preview to what's gonna happen when I die. And so it's like, damn, like my family's gonna have to read shit like this. And motherfuckers making memes and it's so sad because I'm genuinely trying to, like, we bring people on here to give women free game. Like I use my platform to give women free advice, to give them free insight, to help them avoid mistakes. But that gets overlooked, man. That's overshadowed by their feelings towards your content.
It does, even with Kevin Samuels, when he said, hey, I want to see black men and black women together, and I want to see black women value black men, that part kind of got glossed over because they're focusing on, oh, he called a woman fat, oh, he said this to him, and he said that to him, and it gets overshadowed, right? And here's the thing I don't like about, the vitriol that he's gotten, right? It's one thing if you're consistent across the board with it, and I'll give you an example.
He give it to me in the same.
Yeah, right. Let's just say one of these race soldiers kill a black man, dies in the hands of a white cop. I don't see that kind of vitriol towards any of those race soldiers, right? But all this vitriol towards Kevin Samuels. I mean, if you're consistent towards the board, that's one thing. But all I'm saying, if when one of these race soldiers get killed or something happens to a black person in the hands of a white man, I want to see that same energy.
Man, listen here. Today, Kendra G. I don't know if y'all know who Kendra G is.
I know Kendra G. Kevin Samuels actually had it. She actually got on Kevin Samuels. Yes, he did. She
did a video today where the woman on there was clearly a little bigger, and she said, and she wasn't really cute, and she said she wants a man that makes $200,000 and like 5'9" or something, taller than her, and she's 5 feet. Right. Kendra said to her, and I quote, "Are you on drugs?" Right?
Whoa,
Listen, that's the same response she got in the comments from the women. But when Kevin Samuels says, "Buy a dog and die alone," because you're unrealistic, because of your mindset, because of your behavior, oh my God, now he's degrading black women.
Right.
No, he's not. He's giving you the reality
the real.
Of what you're saying, because most of these men that you want are going to look at you and what you have to offer to them. Because we can want whatever we want. We can want whatever we want. But what we want has to want us back. And if it don't want us back, you are not going to get it.
You might get lucky. You can get lucky. Luck is always out there, y'all. There's a chance you could get lucky, but it's not probable. It's not probable. And the way that their dating strategies or the way that they approach dating, it makes it less likely to happen because they operate in ways that are going to create unnecessary conflict. They evaluate men in a warped, illogical way, where they can't tell the difference between a quality man and a fuckboy or a guy that they don't have no long-term success with. So trying to just being honest with women, in a lot of cases, it's not worth it, man. When you see million dudes that's pandering, they books on bestsellers list, they tours are selling out. Like, man,
fellas,
Derrick Jackson is rich off this shit.
Yeah.
Terry, I want to say one thing, and I'm glad you said that's where I was going. My next point, Derrick Jackson, he chimed in on Kevin Samuels' death, right? Yeah. Now he said, hey, he highlighted things that he said that he was trying to denigrate black women, they're naked, and they can mourn how they want to, or they can say what they want to say, and then in the same breath, try to send his condolences to Kevin Samuels, and I felt that was very disingenuous on what he did, and I felt like that was his way to kind of shoot another pandering. And the great shit is so back with everybody because remember he had the controversy a few months ago, which we covered back then. And I just did not like that at all. I thought he was better off not saying anything, but he did that for a reason.
Of course he did. He's got an audience that he has to pander to. So he has to come on there and talk about him in a bad way and say, oh, he denigrated black women. Bro, 80%, 85% of his content was respectful dialogue. And they never talk about what they never mention is the way that the women come at him. They never mention that garners this response.
Right.
True enough, his response is probably was a little
over the top.
Sometimes I will give you that, but for the majority of the black women that he spoke to, it was respectful dialogue. And whenever,
or at least it started respect.
Started that way. And whenever he told a woman to buy a dog, die alone, it was because of the mindset, behavior, or the way she talked that made him say these things that made it less likely for her to get the type of man that she says she wants.
Exactly. I'll give you one example of what he said, right? There was one video, and I got it from your page, SD, where one was talking to, and he was like, listen, you're unfit for a real relationship. He's like, yeah, you look good, you're thick and everything, and men want you because of that. But he said, what happens when you're 50 and everybody no longer looks like? And she said, well, it won't. And he just hung up on her and said, well, goodbye, and did the salute. So
a lot of women don't want to hear that their mentalities are not conducive to a long-term relationship. They don't want to hear that they're the reason that a man fell out of love with them. A man that was six figures, that is husband material, changed his mind about being with you because of what he experienced dating you or being around you. Like that's very hard to hear, but we talk about it all the time. From a male perspective, you're constantly getting feedback. And if you're doing something wrong or you're operating in a way that make women not want to fuck with you, you're going to be impacted by it instantly. So you're forced to change. You forced to adjust.
A man that really wants women, he wants to change. Okay, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do right? That's what a smart dude will do. These women, though, they don't want to hear that, how their mindset is, or that they are out of shape or need to get in shape or look a certain type of way.
Right.
Men don't like this. Bruh, like it's like this. These women want the men, they always say, I won't settle. Right. And then you look at them and they 80 pounds overweight. What is the man doing? The man is settling for you because he wants a woman that's in shape 9 times out of 10, most men out here.
And that's, I'm glad you said, because you said, because you're consistent. You said on your platform, when you go on your lives and these women come on your live sessions, you tell them that all the time.
All the time. And I tell them, look, I'm a 6. I think I'm a 6 and a 7 with a haircut, right? I think I'm a 6 and a 7 with a haircut. It's okay to be average, but if somebody tells you the different things that you can do to attract the type of man you want, if you are a smart woman, you're going to actually work towards doing those things and listen to what he's saying, because he's talking about, and this is what I tell my audience on my page, you're talking to your target man. Right. You're talking to the target man that you want, successful, single, and would like to get married one day. So if you don't want to listen to me, then good luck.
You would think that's who they should be listening to. Either the guy, like you said, that I think that's what gives us the chemistry to work, and why I wanted you as my partner.
Go down.
You have the voice that I think most single guys that are successful are going to agree with. And I'm speaking from the guys that are husbands. You know what I mean? Like, and so between our experiences in dating mirror one another, you know, like our perspectives, our experiences with women, etc. But you would think that
just slickly call me a hoe.
Oh, y'all, a whole thing.
I'm the husband. What else is there?
The former whole phase. But you would, yeah, I mean, but that's who women should be caring about. But most women these days, they would rather focus on fuck boys, bums, and guys that they don't want to be with, because when they discuss those men, those lower level men, it's a way of deflecting and keeping the conversation off of what they doing wrong.
Absolutely.
So
because those quality husband material men you talking about, those ex-hoes that are now quality men, those dudes got standards also. They got standards also.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and you gonna have to meet him in order to deal with him. Women gotta qualify to deal with me now. Back when I was a hoe, man, I didn't care. But now you gotta qualify to deal with me now. And a lot of them don't like that, but I don't care.
All right, so I look like we up against the clock, fellas. This has been a real
Yeah.
interesting conversation. I knew this would
Absolutely.
be good because we always tried to show love to Kevin.
Yes, no doubt.
We about to get up out of here, y'all. Before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background audio. We definitely appreciate it. I want to remind y'all to continue donating to the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal to help us support the finances. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all. This has been a great conversation.
Absolutely.
Our condolences to the Samuels family, to all his friends and family. You will be missed, but your content will live on. This has been another episode of the Ho to Husband Podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.